What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today we are checking out another viewer's car. This is Sjors, his 2021 VW Golf GTI CLUBSPORT. So it is the most sporty one. Dynamically speaking, this should be the most competent Golf, because even though the Golf R is more powerful, it also has four-wheel drive, it's heavier. This has been set up to be as much fun as possible, basically. And a few things on this car I think they should have introduced on the Golf GTI as standard anyway, because the GTI is a bit dull. It is a very grown-up hot hatch. It's super safe, it's very competent, it's quick, it's comfortable, but it's also a bit boring. And this CLUBSPORT, especially the one Sjors has got, is a lot more fun. So today I'm going to show you around it. I'm going to quickly show you around the spec, because you know we've covered Golf GTIs in the past, not going to get in depth too much. And then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now the CLUBSPORT, as I said, is the most sporty one. So we've got basically a Golf R engine. It's got a bigger turbo than a Golf GTI, but it's also got a bigger intercooler. It's got optimized cooling, and exterior wise, the most obvious thing they changed is that front bumper, which I think looks really cool. It has a bit of a concept special edition feel to it. I really like it. It doesn't have the fog lights anymore, so that is just optimized cooling, I think. But it is much more aggressive. It has this little lower strip here, little like a splitter light. I think it looks really cool. Of course, we have the GTI red bar running across the front, and especially in this black, it looks pretty mean. We've got IQ light here, which I guess is like a matrix LED setup. But it looks very nice. And then Sjors has upgraded this car with these 19-inch wheels. As standard, the CLUBSPORT gets the 18-inch from the regular GTI, which is a pity. You can go for an optional 19-inch from VW, but this is an aftermarket wheel. And around that we've got Vredestein Giugiaro tires. And yeah, 19-inch, as I said. But this is a pretty nice wheel. It has a bit of that rotor shape, which I quite like. Behind that, we've got upgraded brakes as well for the CLUBSPORT. 357mm brake discs at the front. Braking performance has improved drastically, and the car also sits 10mm lower than the regular GTI, but Sjors has lowered it even more by 4 centimeters. And that does mean that the car sits very nicely. It just looks like it's supposed to be. I think it does look quite nice, but you do notice it when you drive it. It is a bit jittery sometimes, it can be a bit harsh, but I do get why Sjors did it, because it does look very cool. GTI badge on the side there. We've got tinted windows. You can follow Sjors on Instagram, SF_8CS. Go check him out. And then at the rear we've got the most important mod on this car. It's got an RK custom exhaust, as you can see. And they made this exhaust an OPF back exhaust with these beautiful oval tips. Now, as standard, the CLUBSPORT also has oval tips, but these are a bit bigger and they fill out the diffuser very well. This is a very well made exhaust. I mean, that looks pretty clean. And the car does sound very nice. It has a bit of a deeper tone to it, and it can really use that, because stock it sounds, well, it doesn't really sound like anything. And now you have like a burble in there that is really nice. CLUBSPORT also gets a spoiler extension, which gives it a nice and sporty look. I do like those rear lights. I don't know if we had that on the standard GTI, because I think that looks really cool. Nice design. Now let's check out the engine. Some weight saving here, and probably cost saving as well by VW. This thing is manual, so you don't have a spring operated bonnet, which is pretty ridiculous. MST performance intake here which sounds really nice. You get that intake sound and a little bit of a blow off as well, which is very, very nice. So as I said, it's got the bigger turbo from a Golf R, and it's got 300 horsepower as opposed to the 320 of the Golf R. So it is just a tad less powerful, but of course it is also lighter because it doesn't have four-wheel drive. It does have the VAQ electronically operated mechanical limited slip diff at the front. So I do think that this is the Golf to have. I do like this better than the Golf R, even though it's a bit less powerful. It's got 400 Newton meters, and Shores actually said that he does come across a Golf R now and then, and it's basically the same performance. Of course, unless you do it from a standstill, then the launch, four-wheel drive launch of a Golf R, of course, is a bit quicker. But after that, this definitely is more fun. Now, as I said, it also has upgraded intercooler, and it's got a shorter gear ratio compared to a regular GTI. It just feels like this car has been set up, you know, the way it should have been, basically, because a GTI is just too dull. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of you love the GTI, but it's just, it's never fun. Yes, it's a very good car, but it's never fun. And I feel like with this car, they at least tried to make up for that. This car also has the optional DCC, so dynamic chassis control, which also gives you an extra driving mode, the Nürburgring driving mode. And I quite like that as well. The CLUBSPORT also gets a different exhaust, but of course this has a different exhaust still. OPF back, as I said, and that's it. Those are all the mods. And the CLUBSPORT, oh, that's hot. And the CLUBSPORT also gets new suspension, damper hydraulics, damper control arms, control arm bushings. The dampers have been reconfigured as well, and it also has more negative camber at the front. So it really has been set up to handle properly. Now in here, I'm going to start up the car immediately for the AC to cool the camera, otherwise we are going to have some problems with that. But we have to wait for the infotainment to boot up. Still absolutely horrible. Shores also said that he absolutely hates it. Just going to get that down for a minute. Now on the inside we have some stuff from Shores, his friend Ali, and it's two things mainly. So this carbon tape thing with Golf on there, yeah, not really great. But this Alcantara steering wheel cover is also from AliExpress, and I do really like that. I think it looks pretty cool with this sort of M3 CS-ish 12 o'clock marker. It does look really cool, and yeah, I quite like that mod. So this does look a bit cheap, but I think that Shores wanted to upgrade his door sills a bit, because he said that the Golf 7 GTI got like a illuminated thing here, and this one doesn't have anything. And I think he just wanted something down there, which I can understand. And then we also have these pedal extenders, which again I would always go for like a pedal replacement, but I do understand why Shores decided to do this, because the pedals are super small. As you can see, they are like two little buttons, so you definitely need some extension there. Sound wise, we'll go to sport mode. And of course it decides not to do the little burbles. Okay, well, we'll try to get them later on. The car does do like a little bit of a burble, which sounds nice and deep. Other than that, we've got these beautiful seats, very nice and comfy, super sportive. Actually really like the seats. And yeah, I mean, you know all the stuff here. It is a super clean looking design. I quite like that, but it doesn't work. Too many buttons have gone. Everything is touchscreen. Even this is touchscreen. You have to swipe to open, and I really don't get that. I think that is such a mistake by VW. They should have just kept certain buttons like audio, seat heating, roof operation, stuff like that. So let's go for a drive. Another thing they shouldn't have ditched, regular gear lever. Really don't like those buttons. All right. So immediately you can hear that. Both you can hear the exhaust rumble as well as the intake. Both sound really, really nice. It's not, you know, over the top. It's an OPF back exhaust, so you still have all the catalytic converters and the OPF in there, but it's just a little bit nicer than stock. Just that little edge it really needs. Now, driving wise, let's check out the modes. We are in the special Nürburgring mode. As I said, you can only get that if you select the DCC optional dynamic dampers. We've got a revised steering as well, even though, you know, the steering feel is still pretty much absent. There's very, very little feedback through the steering wheel. The entire car gives very little feedback. It's a very able car. It goes around corners really well. It's just a pity that you don't really feel what is happening, but you can push it really hard. And it's definitely the Golf to have. I do really stand by that. I think this is just such a nice middle ground between the GTI with 245 horsepower and the Golf R with 320, but that four-wheel drive just dulls the driving experience even more. Yes, it's quicker off the line, but that's it basically. I like this better. I like the fact that when you push it too hard, you get a bit of wheel spin, you get a bit of understeer, which you can fix by lifting off the throttle. You can feel the car rotating a little bit. The chassis setup is really good, but you just don't feel what's happening. Now, that differential also does its work pretty well, but again, you don't really feel it. You can see the little traction control light flickering off down there sometimes. Luckily, Coches has already added the ESC to the shortcuts, otherwise that would have taken us a half an hour. And when you put the ESC in Sport, it allows you to play around a little bit. So, on to the Autobahn. But before we begin, I just want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is OBD11, a very handy OBD device. As you can see, we've got it plugged in right now to read out this Audi RS-Q8, provided very kindly by VP Cars. So big thanks to VP Cars. This car is for sale over there, so if you're interested, go check it out. Link is in the description. OBD11 allows you to code, scan, adjust, see live data, and read out your car. So in addition to a full scan of your car, you can also read and clear any fault codes you might have. But the most interesting feature, of course, is the coding feature and the fact that you can adjust certain features on your car. OBD11 works with VW Group cars. It allows you to adjust any features that may or may not be in the car. This is particularly interesting, for instance, when you have an Audi Q8 and you want certain features that you only have on an RS Q8. The lighting animation, for instance, of the tail lights. Another great feature is the fact that you can activate the wireless Apple CarPlay. And of course, winter is coming, so we have adjusted the seat heating to be 5 degrees hotter than it usually is. There are tons of features like this. You can adjust the lighting at the front, the indicators, you can adjust the interior lighting, the key fob features, sunroof, alarm, everything is adjustable. And if you have a DSG gearbox, you can even do a software reset, which is normally pretty expensive if you have to do that at the dealer. OBD11 is the first diagnostics tool that supports SFD, which means that you can connect to the latest VW Group models. So if you want to check that out for yourself, use the link in the description to get OBD11 and go check out the features for your car at obd11.com. Enjoy the video. We've got a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, of course, but unfortunately the gearbox does upshift itself even though you're in manual mode, and it also kicks down when you kick it down all the way in manual mode, which I think both of those things should not happen, and they don't happen in a Golf R, which I think is a shame. I think they should have done that for this car as well. So, performance-wise, it is a quick car. 12 seconds, 100 to 200 kilometers an hour, which is only 1/10 slower than the VW Golf R Mark 8 we measured. So that is not bad at all. This is the limiter, 267 kilometers an hour, which is around 255 GPS. But it gets up there, no problem. It is a very quick car. And those upgraded brakes also really add to the driving experience. It's just nice that it is a quite an aggressive pedal, but braking performance is really good. Much better than the stock GTI. So if you compare this to, say, a Hyundai i30N or a Honda Civic Type R, an Audi S3 perhaps, although that might be even, you know, Golf R territory, this does offer a really good middle ground. It lacks a bit of sensation for me, a bit of, you know, explosiveness, and it definitely lacks a raw edge, which a Honda Civic Type R does have, a Hyundai i30N does have. But I do think that this offers a middle ground that none of the others offer. This is such a good daily. It is such a nice car to just run around with and do everything with. This is actually Sjors' wife's daily. You can see the child seat back there as well. So it really is their do everything car, and it does have that little bit of a Club Sport edge, but still has the Golf GTI's, you know, broadness of ability, which I think is really nice. So they revised a lot of things on the GTI actually. I mean, if you think about all the things I listed in this review, it is quite a bit. And it kind of also illustrates how dull and toned down the stock GTI is. That they had to change all those things to come up with a Club Sport that's not really that raw, that, you know, hard, that stiff. It still is a super nice daily. I think this is the way the GTI should have been from the start, and I'm going to incorporate in that as well the mods that Sjors has made, especially that exhaust. It just adds a bit of character to the car that it can really use. So Sjors, good job. Thanks for taking your car to us. Really enjoyed driving it. To you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video on the left or this playlist on the right. See you at the next one. Bye.